Okay, on this video I'm going to talk about how to do googly eyes. So the bad guys are going to hit me, and every time I get hit it's going to show the googly eyes, and it's going to like rotate. The animation is going to rotate, the eyes are going to rotate around, and also the eyes are going to be in a different location every time I get hit. I use that kind of getting hit and moving in a different direction when I did the blood effect in my other previous videos. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. So how he's getting hit, and it's kind of rotating to the googly eyes, and that's because of the blood effect code that I used before. And then so you can either have it set up where the bad guys are hitting you and you're losing health, losing the HP health, and it's showing the googly eyes, and he's also turning red when you completely get hit and it gets destroyed. So you also have it set up where you can hit it using the mouse. See, and it shows that rotation. Bam. So I've already talked about a couple things where when you get hit either by the mouse or by the enemy, you have the color blend that's happening here. And like I said, you have to experiment with these colors here, because yellow and blue, because my character's blue, light blue, and using yellow, so that's going to make green. So you gotta be aware of what color you want to use to make a certain color for your character. And you got all these colors here to choose from, or you can make your own by defining the color and then choosing here which one you wanted, and then press an add, and you have your custom color there. Press OK. So it's up to you on what color you want. Make sure the alpha is 100, of course. Same thing with when you click on the mouse. Same thing happens. Choose your color. But I've already talked about that. And you have your HP, which I've talked about how much health you have in the create event. So what I'm going to talk about now is going to be the googly eyes. So when you get hit, you're just going to basically drop in the main one tab, you're going to drop in a create instance, and then you're going to say select googly eyes, which is the animation I'm going to choose. And I set the origin on X to 10, so it's kind of in the middle of the character, and then Y 0, and make sure it's set to relative. That's for when I get hit by the enemy, or when I click on the mouse, drop in the create instance, and this is like a separate image that's going to go on top of your character itself. And so now I'm going to talk about the googly eyes here, and see there's an animation, see how it spirals around. And so the thing is, all this animation is not going to happen. It depends on how fast your alarm is set. And my alarm on my character when he gets hit is only set for 2 milliseconds. So the animation is going to stop spiraling around so much, and then it's going to jump to the regular Google. It's going to go away pretty much, because this is going to be an instance that happens. So yeah, right here, I'm sorry. So my animation is going to happen for 7 milliseconds for the googly eyes, and so it's only going to do so much rotation with the eyes, and then it's going to jump after 7 milliseconds. It's going to be destroyed. So what you do is you click on the mouse, or the bad guy hits you, and then it's going to do the animation for 7 milliseconds, the googly eyes, and then it's going to be destroyed. So you're going to destroy the googly eyes, because you don't want it to come up before, you don't want the eyes to show there without clicking on the mouse, because that's what's happening. So when you get hit, then it's when it shows the googly eyes for 7 milliseconds. Then it's going to get destroyed, and then when you get hit again, either by the mouse or the bad guy, then it'll show the googly eyes again. And then I have this code right here. This is the random. Okay, So what I just showed you was not, it didn't move randomly, the Googly eyes, it stayed in one spot. But if you use this code right here and enable it, say image underscore angle equals I random 360. I've talked about this before in my other video. What's going to happen is it's going to rotate the eyes at an angle. So your animation is going to happen here, but then it's also the crosshairs are going to rotate your image as well by using the 360 rule. It's going to do it randomly. So I enable that, and even in the step event, make sure you enable it here as well. Take this star slash out, and it's going to do. I guess it's going to do a rotation at 0.02. Oh, that's the alpha. It's going to. Like I said, it's going to randomly do a rotation of 360, so it could do it any direction of 360. It could do it randomly. So let me show you that real quick. Because what it was doing before was not doing rotation. It was staying in one spot. See, now it's rotating. See how it's rotating now? Now it's rotating. So you could do that. So before, I had it graded out. Slash press Shift 8 on your keyboard to do the little star thing to highlight, to basically take it all out. So slash F8 or Shift F8. Oh, sorry, Shift 8, which is your star, and that's going to grade the whole thing out. That's the shortcut there. Now when I get hit, it's not going to do any of the rotation. See, it stays in one spot. See, it stays at a horizontal level, but it does the animation, of course. And then when you, like I said, you enable the code and you take out that slash star and then the step event as well. See, now the whole thing is rotating as well as animating. So you can do that too. And that's what I was talking about with the blood effect, my previous video, where every time you get hit or you click on the mouse, it rotates the image as well. So you could have an animation, and you can also have a rotation using the code to show, a different image in a way, So without using images to make the rotation, you're using code to make it rotate. That way you're saving space. And this is just the alpha, I guess, at 0.02. You could change this to maybe like 9, and I think it's going to make it more faded or something. Yeah, see, you can't really see it that often. See, it's very faded. So you could change that as well, but I just kept mine at 2, so you could see the image pretty clear. But at 9, it really makes the image faded. So whatever you want to do, and then this basically just cancels it out, I guess, and destroys it. And I've already talked about this is the scaling as well. The image is so I'm thinking this makes it. Is this straight? I don't think that's needed. I'm gonna take out this real quick. This transform sprint here. Cut that out. Let me see what happens. I don't think that's needed. Yeah, it's not needed. I don't know why. I left that in there. I'll make sure it's not in the folder or in this game tutorial. You don't need this transform sprint. You don't need this. This was talking about, it scales it up X and Y. So actually this, if you wanted it in there, you could copy that, put it in the create events. It would scale it up, make it 5. Then at 0, alarm 0, make it go back to the normal, which would be probably 1. Let me see what happens. Yeah, see, now it makes it really big, but it doesn't actually go, it don't scale back. It's not scaling back. Maybe I need to maybe put it in here at 1 in the create event, and then in the alarm make it 0.5. Let me see if that scales it back. Now it doesn't do anything. So I mean, you could. So it's not needed. See, it's needed here. But it's not needed here in the alarm event. So, I mean, like I said, you can have that scale in there. It makes it kind of faded, blurred too when you do that, because I have it really scaled up to 5. But you really don't need this transform sprint in there unless you want to. But in my opinion, it doesn't do anything, because my previous video I talked about buttons and how you click on them and they enlarge real quick and they go back to the original state. But it doesn't happen in this Googly Eyes thing. It could be because of the milliseconds or something, but in my opinion, it's not really needed. Like I said, what really does this Googly Eye effect is using this image angle rotation at 360 randomly, you know, and have the step within it as well as in there. And then, like I said, it's doing the animation, of course. It's rotating around. And if you wanted more animation of the eyes, you would just, like I said, change this just to like maybe, I don't know, 9 or something. And it would last longer on the character. And you see more animation. And it stays fixed on the character too, so that's why on the object you want to make sure that when you get hit by the character, bad guys, or by the button, you set it to relative. And I have it at 10 on the origin. I had it at 0 and it wasn't really in the center of the character, so I moved it to 10 on the X coordinates. And you also want to make sure that the crosshairs are going to be in the location where you want it at, because if I had this way over here, then it would be off. And there's a lot of space here, and it's because I got this off the internet. I downloaded this Googly Eyes as a GIF. You can download GIFs on your computer and then import it into Game Maker. You can do that, and it will save a lot of animation time. You don't have to throw it into Photoshop or whatever and animate it. You can just import it into Game Maker as a GIF. And then you can these images were real large, and I just went into, like I said, I went to resize canvas and scaling to, you know, just change the width and height of it, or you can uncheck this, just do the height or the width to, you know, rescale this down to where you want it at, and then, you know, check it to save it. You probably don't need all these animations in here for the Googly Eyes. I couldn't get it moved up. I mean, I guess I could have moved it up where that way I have less space. I mean, it'd be more just set up on the Googly Eyes. All the space is not needed, but for demonstration purposes, I didn't rescale it, because if I rescale it, then I'm gonna have to reposition it, and I just didn't want to bother with that. But like I said, you can take this all the way up to here for the height of it and width of it to match it up to the actual eyes, the square, and then adjust it as needed. And I have the centered X and Y coordinates. But that's how I did it here, and I'll give you this tutorial so you can download it and play around with it. And I think also, hold on, one more. No, I didn't parent it. Did not parent it. I just basically used I was making sure that I'm not missing anything. Yeah, this does the rotation, just like the blood effect I did in my previous videos. This is part of it too, the rotation. And and like I said, that's pretty much it. Alright, thanks for watching.